Hello, and welcome to Ghostability with myself, Paranormal Mitch.
And Paranormal Tej.
We have a 2025 recap episode for you today, something I am very excited to talk about.
Yeah.
We have so many things to talk about. I mean, we started this podcast in the last year. So many things have changed for us in, I feel like, such a short span that we wanted to kind of do an episode to just go over all of that, kind of reflect our favorite experiences, some of the places that we've been, and sort of have a little conversation on that. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, this has been a crazy year for us. We were talking about this before we started, but I started this year with 3,000 followers on TikTok.
And no podcast.
And no podcast. And I think one YouTube video.
Like
I believe. And it was like one group of haunted doll backstories.
Right?
Yeah. And like that was pretty much it. So we have come a very, very, very long way in a really short time. Thanks to all of you, honestly. So thank you for being here for our journey. So we're going to be talking about some of our favorite experiences. We're going to start with haunted dolls, and then we're going to go into haunted locations as well, because we've been all over the place this year. We are not doing a spirit of the week for this episode, because otherwise this episode would be very, very, very long. So this is going to be a full recap. So thank you to those of you who have been with us all year round. Those of you who have found us this year, we are endlessly grateful for all of your support. So
absolutely. We have a couple of guiding questions. I guarantee you we're going to stray far off topic and on many tangents.
We always do.
But we're going to see if we can keep somewhat aligned.
Last week I went on a tangent about carbon monoxide, so you never know what could happen.
Hey, Taylor, you went on 4 tangents last week. You said I'm going to get on my soapbox 3 separate times.
You counted.
No, I did count on purpose. It was just, it kept coming up. And I was like, here she goes.
Oh,
here she goes. Not a bad thing.
It's fine.
It's not a bad thing. It's good for you. Okay, let's get started with our haunted doll recap. I think first one we're going to talk about is our most memorable paranormal activity. I think we're keeping this in the house, correct?
Yeah.
Or let's say related to our spirits.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor, what do you got?
I think for me, the most memorable was probably during Mod Madness. When I thought it was just very interesting. Shayla had a dream that her septum ring was going to be stolen, and then woke up and it had actually been stolen. We have a lot of stealing incidents and pretty big paranormal activity, but that one was like particularly diabolical in a way that I really appreciated.
It was so savage to the point where, like, hey, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do it while you're sleeping, and now you're going to know we took it. That's crazy work.
Yeah, and that was and also that same night, her pendulum had been broken into several pieces, taken apart. Not super nice, but very impressive and very well thought out. So I don't know. I just thought it was very funny.
It was kind of wild.
Funny.
To be fair, Shayla was a great sport about it.
She was. She really
was a great sport. I respect her, because sometimes.
And when I harassed them, that was the other thing. I harassed them about it, and I said, look, you took something worth monetary value, so you're gonna have to give something of yours up if you're gonna steal it. That thing showed right back up in the middle of the carpet.
And
which is also impressive.
Shout out to the Secret Santa that got them their own septum rings. Yes. That way they don't have to steal other people's septum rings anymore.
So that was my favorite, because it was quirky. I don't know. There's something about that one that did it for me. So.
Nice. I think for my favorite activity, I'm a little nervous to say it because I feel like he's going to do it more. But Connor falling all the time is so funny to me. Because it happens so frequently. You opened up a can of worms. I know.
That was a choice. It was a choice.
I still got to say, I think it's just wild, because we have lots of spirits move. We have lots of spirits do stuff, and all of it is very impressive. But the frequency at which he does it and his timing is really, really impressive. And it's so funny when he does it. So I have to say that is one that I don't think I'm ever going to forget.
No.
Is the many, many, many times Connor has nosedived to the point where we had to buy him a custom crash mat so that he were to use it more often.
And we don't even know if that'll work.
We don't, but we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep trying. All right, next question we have. Our most memorable communication session.
Oh boy.
Do you want me to go first on this one?
Yeah, that's all you.
Okay, so I think I'm going to kind of bundle this most memorable communication session with one spirit, because I think we've talked to the spirit many times. I'm going to say talking to Iris for me is always very fun and so interesting. I think the thing that sticks out to me is I think I asked her if she'd seen the movie Titanic, and she said, Mitchell, I was homeless. And that was so funny to me. And I was like, you know what? You're totally right. And she has so many good one-liners that I could pull from. And I think talking to her is something I very, very much enjoy. And we get to do it all the time, which is very fun.
Very different vibe than what I'm going to pick.
Oh, 100%. But go ahead.
So I think for me, it was that session with CL and Rob. This one I never posted.
That one was pretty intense.
I never posted this session because it was very, very personal, but I'll tell you the story about it. So our friends Helen and Rob came over here from the UK to visit us, and Helen was like super, super open to paranormal experiences. Never really had an experience, but really open to it. And Rob was like a straight up, I don't believe in this.
Mm-hmm.
However, Rob is a very respectful friend, and Rob is like, I love that you do this, and I love that you're passionate about it. So I'm going to keep an open mind, and maybe I'll be proved wrong.
Oh, love Rob.
And he was like amazed from like the second he saw the flashlight.
Yeah.
Well, what happens when you say you don't believe in haunted dolls in our house is you become the victim of a crime.
Yeah, you have a target on your back.
And so for
the victim of a crime. Jeez.
Getting CL'd is a crime.
I guess.
It's a crime. So CL comes on the spirit box session, and this one was very memorable for me because one, it was a skeptic, and two, just like the evidence in this is just incredible. But CL gave Rob a full on psychic reading, was telling him about his mom who had passed away, who I didn't even know his mom was dead.
And even his wife didn't know a lot of the stuff that CL was talking about.
And he was just going on and on and on. And it was just like a dumpster of evidence. And it was all stuff that like none of us, his wife, us, none of us knew. Which for me, that's always like the best evidence is when even the people in the room don't know it. And Rob walked out of the room crying because it was like 100% accurate.
Yeah.
And Rob crying, is not like my favorite thing in the world. But when he came back, we were like, why are you crying? He's like, I gave him permission to do that because like I didn't think this was real, and like this is real. And it was just like one of those like skeptic aha moments that just amazed me because of how far CL went. And also the kindness that CL showed in that session was like kind of a big step for CL.
I was literally about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, I asked permission to do that. Like he really went a long way, and that showed a lot of growth for CL. And then the next day we picked up Helen and Rob pulled out like a bag full of coins from the UK.
It was great. And now he's like, how are the spirits doing? Tell CL I said hi. Like he's just awesome.
Yeah. And so he like pulls out this like bag full of coins from the UK is like an offering for CL. And now he watches all my content. He knows all the lore in the house.
Supportive, great friend.
Yeah, he keeps up with them. He is so into it. And it was just a really cool experience, not only because of what CL was able to tell him and the information and actually the help he was able to give him, but also turned a skeptic into a believer on that one.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yeah.
You don't say. And I was going to mention the CL stuff because I think the way that he went about understanding what was going on from his perspective was a huge sign of growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Next question.
Okay.
Is the spirit that surprised you the most?
All right,
I think
Mitchell.
it's your turn.
No, I just
it's my turn.
Well, we're alternating.
You're right. You're right.
Who surprised you, Mitch?
Spirit that surprised me the most. This is a tough one. I feel like we've had so many spirits do so many incredible things that have surprised me. I am going to take kind of a recent one here. And I'm going to say the spirit that surprised me most was Demir.
Demir. Okay. Why Demir?
I thought he was awesome coming into the house. I didn't really know a lot about him, but I think he surprised me because I didn't know that there was a spirit that could talk to me and could communicate with me as much as he does. I mean, it's to the point where every single day we're having almost frequent conversations. And it's from such a positive place. Like he wants to know. He's like, "Oh, why is this person here? Tell me who they are. They can hear me. Is that normal?" And all these things that are happening. He really surprised me in just his depth of knowledge that he wanted to gain, but also how excited he was to learn about what we were doing from a place that is very different from his belief system, which is amazing. And I think he's just the happiest guy. I just adore
Yeah,
him.
he's great.
And I think he was such an amazing addition to the house. And I am so excited to get to talk to him more because we've only had him a very
Yeah.
brief time. So I'm really excited for Demir. I think that's what surprised me.
Cool. I have 2. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. First one, wild card. Haro.
Oh, good answer.
Haro really surprised me. When Haro got here, we did not have a great start. He almost made me pass out. He was making me dizzy. I felt like I was on something. It was just like straight up not a good time that first day. Like I was like, how am I gonna live like this? And what I didn't expect was how quickly we would be able to bond with him. And him and I have built this little friendship, and that really surprised me because when I met him, I was kind of anticipating this like kind of hardcore CL type relationship where it's like, oh, you're really going to make me work to befriend you kind of thing. And it's going to take, 5 years and it's going to be an art project.
Mm-hmm.
Haro went from like weird to bestie really fast. And I feel like we understand each other now. And just getting to see like his sense of humor and like he's got this like loyal side that comes out. Like we had a bad spirit box session or a spirit box session that was going to go bad at a location and Haro came on and he's
Jumped
like, oh,
in.
he's like tap her out of the session.
That was crazy.
Yeah, like he has like a loyal side to him. So that surprised me about Haro. I didn't get him because I expected him to be like this loyal, like friend kind of spirit. I was drawn to him because he was weird.
No, he's a wild card.
And he has surprised me with the degree of relationship that he's able to build.
I think I want to give some credit to you in that sense because I feel like he's one of those spirits that if you put on a big show about how crazy it is, he's going to keep doing it. So I think it was something where he showed up and he was like, I'm going to show out for these people and like really try and freak them out. And then we were like, oh, this is kind of weird, but it's okay. And he's like, oh, these people are kind of chill. And then so I think it's important to have that, that relationship with your spirits.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, like you can be normal here, you can be weird, and you have to figure it out. And it's not going to happen right away. And it may take a long time to figure out, but you'll get there.
Yeah. The other one that really surprised me this year was Zani.
Oh,
Zani really surprised me this year. He came into this house, was active right away. We've never had like a house guardian type of spirit before, like in terms of like a caretaker type fae, and he has been really interesting. I will never forget waking up in the middle of the night and opening my eyes and seeing Zani sweeping the carpet with a broom at the end of the bed, and him and me looking at him like he was a weirdo for sweeping the carpet and him looking at me like I was the problem, and just like it was the most awkward like funny exchange, and just his exuberance and personality has really wowed me. I get a kick out of him, and he is smart and wise as all get out. And that Ouija night we had for members, some of the stuff he said I had to rewatch like 17 times to understand, but it was pretty dang impressive. So Zani's another one.
He is so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, next one we're going to talk about is the evidence or interactions that we're still talking about or are still on our mind. You're first. Lots to pick from. You can't go wrong. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
I have to think.
The evidence or interactions that we're still talking about. This is a tough one. The evidence that we're still talking about. I don't know.
Oh, I got one.
Oh yeah, go.
I got one. So something, and this was very recent, that I can't exactly figure out how it happened, but Sienna. So Sienna is a healer, and we've worked with other like healing spirits in the past, but her stuff in particular is very unique. And when you give her an offering, she'll do something for you in return, and she demands that because she says she doesn't want to be a taker. And there was one time I did an offering. I was very, very sick for 2 weeks. Did an offering, woke up the next morning, was totally fine. Mitchell, same thing. He got sick, gave her an offering, woke up the next morning, he was better. Just recently, somebody's dog got sick. I had given her an offering and I didn't know what to ask her for. So I asked her to help this girl's dog, and she messaged me 2 days later with blood test results showing that like all of his levels had improved significantly.
Amazing.
So that I don't get it. I don't get it. But the consistency of that I think is very interesting. Because when it's like a one-time thing, it's kind of like, oh, was it a coincidence or was it a consistent thing? With her so far, we have a 100% success rate. So
Crazy.
That's very interesting. And
yes.
I'm interested to continue to see how that goes.
Absolutely. I also have an answer ready as well.
Okay.
So I'm kind of going to lump this all together with multiple spirits, but I'm going to say all of the stuff that we do with the touch activated toys. Like I think of like Astrid and Mia and Anna and like all the different things that we do. I think we started that a little bit last year, but I don't think we really got into like the variety of different things we could do with them. Like I think when we started, it was like, oh my gosh, we're doing the spirit box, we're doing the flashlights, like that's so cool. And it is so cool, right? But there's something about like when you have the
when it's not
paranormal, it's just like kids being kids.
Yeah.
And like you have this little DJ booth that when you put it alone does absolutely nothing, but then you put, Astrid in front of it and she's playing music nonstop for 20 minutes.
And this isn't paranormal equipment. These
are not like paranormal equipment.
Fisher Price toys.
It's like stuff you can get from Target for like $15.
Like Baby Einstein and crap.
And it's so funny because I feel like people, especially if you get a spirit, you're like, you look online and there's all these really fancy EMF detectors, and those are all awesome, right? There's so much cool stuff out there.
But they like the toys more.
But they like the toys. Like they like the simple stuff. Like, or I remember when Fiona threw her little puppy, right? And it was like, it wasn't a fancy toy. It was this little like felt puppy that she got, that she was so excited about. And she just chucked it.
Yep.
Right. So I think it's small stuff like that I think we learned a lot this year in regards to not only how to have us experience really cool things, but how to have them experience really cool things, like from their end, instead of just being like, put on a show for us and, make this EMF detector go off. And like, that's cool. But if you can get a 6-year-old on like, lighting up a little booth or turning on the little lights or like, Bobby, when he moved all of the stuff, like, what did he do with like the yes, no, and maybe, remember?
Oh, yeah.
He put like the stickers or something.
Yeah, I put stickers on like a yes, no. It was like it's a piece of paranormal equipment. It says like yes, no, boy, girl, hello, goodbye kind of thing. And we've been working with Jeffrey and Bobby on communication because they can't use a spirit box. They weren't able to talk when they were alive. And so I've just been finding like adapted stuff. And I put little stickers on top of those words that were more in line with their interests. So I put like a car and an airplane and a train and a boat and like different modes of transportation because they like that. And like they were able to identify on that equipment, like, which one was something that they had, which one was something that their friends had. And it was cool. It was really
and it's just really cool to be able to, I think they enjoy it a lot more as well. So I think that's a long-winded answer of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, the spirit that challenged what we thought we understood about the paranormal.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of ways you can go with this.
challenge what we thought about the paranormal. I think the answer to this question will always be the same, and that's CL.
Yeah, absolutely.
CL has challenged everything I know about everything. Like, not even just some paranormal, just like real life.
Yep.
You know, because like when I heard about people having like fae haunted dolls and fairy this and fairy that, I thought it was a load of crap, you guys. Like, I really did. And like, CL like bum rushed into our lives and showed me that there is so much more out there than what I ever knew. You know, like human spirits was really easy for me to get behind. But it wasn't until I worked with CL, who was the first non-human spirit that I worked with, that I saw really how much is out there and how much they can do and how different they are. And he has made me realize that this world is a lot bigger than I ever thought.
Oh, tremendously. Tremendously.
So, yeah.
I am going to say Auric.
Okay. All right.
So
I love that.
I think, first of all, shout out my boy Auric.
Yes.
I think he really challenged me in a sense of, you know, I don't think I had a great sense of how much we can do for them. In regards to like allowing them to become more comfortable here and, you know, be somewhere that they enjoy and be around people they enjoy. Teeny little backstory. When Auric got here, I mean this in the nicest way, he was a hot mess.
That was the worst.
He was
You would never believe that. That was the worst new arrival we ever had.
By far. I opened him up out of his box. He was off
that was this year. Can you believe that?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
God.
He broke off of his little stand. He was all tangled. His vessel was like backwards.
He freaked out in the box.
He freaked out in the box. And I think when he got here, he had a really hard time kind of understanding what was going on and trying to find like his niche.
Every time I fell asleep, I got a nightmare about him inside of the shipping box screaming.
Yeah,
every time I went to sleep.
So, and then I think once we kind of discovered we kind of fell into Auric's game show kind of on accident. He started it. But I think it challenged me in the sense of trying to find ways to help them grow. I think is something I am very excited about continuing to do. Because I think they do all these amazing things for us. I feel like I want to give back to them.
I think Auric's game show too, like for those of you who don't know what Auric's game show is, we have a membership here on YouTube and we do lives every Friday night for our members in their spirit box sessions. And Auric randomly one day started this like game show on the live. And, you know, I think a lot of people they love Auric's game show. I think it's a lot of people's favorite thing that we do, because it's just amazing, like the thought he puts into it and how he manages to translate activities into a spirit box, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, so cool.
But I think what a lot of people don't realize, because we don't talk about it enough, is how much Auric's game show has helped Auric.
That's what I'm getting to. I think that it's allowed him to become so much more comfortable and such a happier guy. I mean, every time I look at him now, I feel like he's so excited to be here. He's made so many cool friends. And I think that really challenged me. And I think will continue to challenge
so much
me.
And his confidence and just everything.
So what we can do for them.
Auric was the most anxious spirit we've ever worked with.
I think as well, if you look at a lot of location investigations, like people, you can't create that kind of relationship with those spirits unless you go so many times. And I feel like every single time we go, a lot of times, especially, when we first started, you're trying to seek like evidence, right? And that's awesome to do, but you have to remember that, these spirits are probably there because of something. Right? Whether it's positive or negative. So I think trying to find ways to allow them to tell their story in a way that's not so much of taking for us, I think is a real way I would like to continue to progress in next year.
Yeah. And people often ask, what's the difference between haunted doll collecting, working with haunted dolls and being in a haunted location? And the honest to God truth is like, there's not that huge of a difference. Because a spirit's a spirit, right? Regardless if they're haunting a house or they have a vessel. But the difference I do see is that when you are working with a haunted doll and they're in your house every day, all day, every day, that relationship you can build with them is goes so far. And when you have the relationship, that is when you see facets of the paranormal that you would have never knew even existed from going to a location.
Totally.
We would know 5% of what we know if we only did locations.
Absolutely.
We learn most of what we know in this house because we know them and they trust us and we have that relationship, and it's really cool.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Whew, we got off on a tangent on that one, but that's okay. That's the point.
Oric is a forever tangent.
Oric is a forever tangent. I just adore him.
He's just so great.
Okay, next one. Moments that made us pause or change how we approached a session. Lots of answers to pick from.
Yeah. Is it me?
I do not remember. I think it's me.
Okay, go ahead.
Moments that made us change how we approach a session. This is a tough one. I think I'm going to kind of give an overall answer of just the different types of spirits we get on Spirit Box. I think that's how I'm going to approach this. Different spirits want different things. And I think it's very important to be able to accommodate who you're talking to and what you're talking about to the spirit you're talking to. I think this is just normal conversation. But I think it's very difficult when we have like these very playful kid spirits. Like we have, Heidi, for example, or Millie. And they're like, we just want to talk about something fun that's going on. Right. And then we have, Athenias or Neoxa, these spirits that are very ethereal and want to talk about these very deep, complex topics, which are amazing to talk about, but so drastically different. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that I have gotten better at, but I think that overall concept has really changed how I approach the paranormal in trying to figure out what they're trying to get out of the communication session. I think creates a much healthier environment and a much healthier session. And I think we're trying to find ways to pull that into investigation locations, but like you said, it's really tough. So I think that's really cool. And I think that's why we do so much cool stuff, is because we have these such different personalities. It's almost like you're meeting these, spirits from different parts of the world who had different ideas and different concepts and all these different things. And it's so fascinating to be able to get such a wide picture. I think that's how I really changed how I approached investigating, especially our spirits.
Surprised you didn't say Alice.
I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to get her in there. She could have worked for every single answer on this questionnaire so far. So yes.
I think for me, I have learned a lot about just like the listening end of the spirit box, because that's what I do. And I never quite realized how much of me I give in those sessions. And that's something I'm learning to adjust. And when you're in a trance-like state at a location where you don't know, you can run yourself into some situations, and giving a random spirit full access to your body in that way is like not the best idea.
Not the best idea.
Been there, done that. So kind of I've adjusted my approach a little bit. So now I do equipment first, and then I'll do a wave session on the speaker, maybe once or twice, see how it's going, kind of get the vibe of the spirits at the location.
Warm up to it.
And then I'll go into Estes method. So I kind of test the waters first before I just put on headphones and a blindfold and say, okay, let's chat. The other thing is too, I never realized how much of my energy I gave in that process until I started realizing that I was taking ibuprofen before a lot of sessions. And I had that one session with Amika and Saya when I was sick. And I was like feeling totally fine going into the live. I like wasn't great. I like kind of had cold symptoms. I had like a intermittent cough, but I was okay. Like I felt okay enough to do it. It just felt like a cold. And then I put those headphones on to non-human spirits, and totally drained my energy. I was sweating.
You were down for the count.
I was like in a coughing attack, and it made me realize like I really need to be at 100% to do this.
Yes.
And it's not just like, oh, can I listen to the words when it comes to spirit box? It goes a lot further than that. And that was something that I definitely learned and kind of changed about my communication this year, as I'm way more in tune with myself.
Totally. That's a great answer.
I've gotten slapped around a few times this year.
A little bit here and there. It's all in good fun. Next one, I think, is one that we're going to mention, our dear friend Alice. Lessons learned about patience, respect, and boundaries. So did we get Alice this year? Or was Alice last year?
Alice was last year, last Christmas.
So I think Alice has taught, I know me personally, I'll speak for myself, so much in regards to trying to understand that a spirit does not want you to know everything about them. And that's perfectly fine, right? I think that you can still provide some positivity. You can still provide some sort of communication. Just because they're not going to tell you everything about themselves does not give you a right to disconnect from them or not want to talk with them, because they have that choice, right? They have that choice. And you need to be respectful of that. And it's hard to do, because I think naturally a lot of people, especially in this field, are curious.
Yeah.
Right. They want to know more about it. They want to, look into the abyss and figure out all these really cool, wacky things about the paranormal. And there's just a insane amount of information to learn and to know. And we want to know, but sometimes you have to understand that it's not the right time or the right place. And with Alice especially, I think working with her and trying to figure out, ways she can be comfortable and how to hide her things and try to get her as comfortable as possible has been a difficult process, but I think something that I have learned a ton from, and am excited to continue to be able to communicate with her and try to make her as comfortable as possible.
I have two on this one. One is Dove. Dove was technically our first, I don't even like to say this, but technically on paper would be our first negative spirit. Because even though she's a little kid,
which is so wild to think about now.
Correct. Yes, I agree. But Dove was scratching people and drawing blood on her old caregiver on a very, very regular basis, scratching near daily, if not multiple times a day, drawing blood every once in a while. And the kind of backstory on Dove is that she was very, very spoiled. She didn't hear no for an answer. When she wanted attention, she wanted something, she would scratch. And poor Dove was listed for months and months and months and months. And I was so drawn to her. But the scratching really gave me pause because, I had heard of all of the, negative spirits are always negative spirits. They can't change, blah, blah, blah. But I saw something in her, and Mitch and I had a conversation, and I was like, you know what? She's a kid. How bad could she be? I want to give it a go. Because I see something in her. She's supposed to be super smart. She's super intelligent. Like, let's give her a go. And Mitch agreed. And she's never scratched one time in our house.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that says a lot about like respect and boundaries in the relationship, because when Dove got here, second I took her out of her box, I said, hey, I introduced myself, told her about the house. And I said, I heard you have a little bit of a scratching habit. And I want to tell you that that's not going to happen here. But, I understand that may be hard for you. So let me tell you what I'm thinking. And she had gotten into this pattern with her old caregiver where she would scratch and she would continue to cause harm until she got what she wanted. And that was usually jewelry, bracelets, etc., sparkly things.
She likes shiny things.
Yes. And so she would do this stuff, and then the girl would give it to her. So I said, we're going to reverse that here. If you do a really good job and you don't scratch, then you can earn bracelets and jewelry and necklace and etc. And she has never scratched here. I have never felt unsafe.
Never
been worried about it. And she's so kind. She's just absolutely lovely. So that taught me a lot about like that respect and boundaries. And like, I took a very like, if she was a living little kid, like, okay, we're going to earn this kind of thing. And it worked.
Yeah.
And she is so proud of herself too. Like,
oh my gosh, she's so excited.
She'll be like, I didn't do anything wrong. And she gets really enthusiastic about that.
To the point now where she's down here. She's a role model.
Yeah, she is.
We were like, hey, or would you be willing to work with Jenny? And we want you to kind of be with her and be her big sister. And she was like, absolutely. I would love nothing more. And they have just been the happiest little
great.
duo.
It's been great.
It's been great.
The one other one I wanted to note, something I learned about boundaries this year is just because a spirit frequently doesn't respect your boundaries doesn't mean they're a bad spirit. And that was taught by the one and only D-Man. Thank you, Dick, for that one.
What a stinker.
Dick continues to relapse and go through my underwear drawer.
Relapse.
He started this last year. This is nothing new, but we go months and months and months where he doesn't do it. It's a boundary to not dig through my underwear drawer. But I continue to tell him, and then, a couple months pass, and then I come home, my underwear's everywhere, and I'm like, dang it, he struck again, and like, but he's not a bad dude, like, it's just like the living, right? Like, we make mistakes sometimes, and just because you set a boundary and that boundary is broken doesn't mean you're in the presence of evil, like, this is just a 17-year-old boy who, like, has serious impulse control issues, major impulse control issues. And, he slips up sometimes. But I love him to pieces. And I've gotten, unfortunately, very used to
spirits going through your underwear drawer.
Dick going through my underwear drawer.
To the point.
But I'll continue trying with the boundary.
To the point where I'm pretty sure at some point in time we had a conversation with, I don't know if it was him or someone else. And they said when Dick goes through the drawer, he's like stuck in a closet, like he gets a timeout.
Yeah, they get in trouble. He gets in trouble with the other spirits.
He gets in trouble with the other spirits when he still does it, and they put him in the closet, and they're like, you have to stay in here for like 2 days, and he's like, God, no.
Yeah.
Or he'll fall down the stairs.
Doesn't mean he's a bad guy. It doesn't
Not
mean he's like an evil spirit or negative spirit or anything like that. It's just, they make mistakes just like we do, and that was, it's a lesson. It's a life lesson that we've learned this year.
Yes. Second to last one is the moment that taught us what not to do with spirits. A lot of places you could go.
I've got one.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, if you want to.
I recently had a conversation with the one and only Jeremiah. And in a previous conversation, Jeremiah had told me that he wants to be number one. And I was like, cool, you can be number one. A period of time after that, we were having the conversation, and he said, oh, and I didn't know who it was in the spirit box. And he said, oh, it's number one. I didn't know who it was because I had forgotten we had that conversation, to the point where Jeremiah got pretty upset. And he said, I'm going to hang up if you don't guess who I am. I finally got him at the end, and he was pretty upset with me that I forgot that. So, and once again, he's not a negative spirit at all. But it's important, if you have specific things for specific spirits that they hold on to very tightly, to not forget those things. And it's just, I feel like, a respect thing, right? That I have a hard time with. My memory sometimes is not very good. So I've had to try very hard to be respectful of him and, find ways to appease everyone if they have little niches, So that is something that taught me what not to do.
Something that taught me what not to do is, so those fancy boundaries you set when spirits come to your house, the way I was phrasing them always was applicable to our house. And I didn't think about, because in the past, right, like, we just did this as a hobby in our house. We weren't going places. We weren't bringing them places with us. Like, it was just our house. And this year we started traveling with them and doing this. Well, those fancy boundaries I set, I worded them to apply to our house. And Amika tormented somebody in another state, pretty severely.
I was waiting for this to come up.
Pretty severely. And I can't hold it against her. I did not set a boundary for a house that wasn't ours. And she's never done that in our house to anybody. And so she scared the ever living shit out of somebody. And now I know that my boundaries must apply to elsewhere.
It's kind of funny, though.
It was funny.
It was kind of funny. And it was kind of warranted.
Yes. Again,
I'm not justifying her behavior.
But again,
I mean, a little bit of this, a little bit
it's a moral gray. It was a moral gray. It wasn't like she tormented somebody for no reason. There was a reason, but not a good thing. And so now I'm a little bit more tactful about how I word boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
because of that.
Yes.
Thank you, Amika.
Thank you. All right, Taylor, this is our last thing. And the question is, how our understanding of haunted dolls evolved in 2025. I'm going to give you a challenge.
Okay.
I want you to try and answer this question in 1 minute or less. And I will try my best to also do.
How are we going to do that?
I think, what's your elevator pitch? Like if someone walks in and they're like, you got 30 seconds to try and sell someone on what you learned in 2025.
I think for me, the biggest thing I learned is that I don't know anything.
That's what I was gonna say. Damn it! All right, I gotta come up with something else. Okay. All right.
I don't know anything, and I don't like. I'm very educated on this topic. I'm very experienced, but the afterlife is so much more vast than I ever could have imagined, and the types of spirits that are out there and the different species that there are out there and all of these different things, like we have some really deep understanding of some very cool concepts. However, we know this much. And in 2025, I really learned, like, every time I thought I knew it all, I was proved wrong. And so going into 2026, it's like I just want to learn as much as I possibly can. So I think that's my thing.
Great. I love it.
Thank you.
Very similar to what I was going to say. So now
Sorry.
I gotta cut. No, it's okay. You went first. I think
let me go first.
I did. That I know it's fine. I think what I'm going to say is, the first thing I'm going to say is the more we know, the more we don't know. Second thing I'm going to say is no two spirits are the same. And every time you interact with a new spirit, you have to start with a clean slate.
Mm-hmm.
You can carry some basic understanding of things, but truly every single time you have an experience, whether it's at a location, whether it's with your own haunted dolls, someone else's haunted dolls, whatever, a spirit, no two interactions will ever be the same. And 95% of the time, you're not going to know what's going on. And they might not even know what's going on. So I think the better you understand that, which is very hard to do.
Keep your ego in check.
Yes, the better it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we are going to transition after this commercial break to haunted locations that we have gone to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So stay tuned for the commercial break. When we get back, we are talking about our favorite location memories from 2025. We will see you soon. Time to dance to this fun commercial song.
I was built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past. I'm overachieving. Got my foot on the gas. Never stop competing. If you break my glass, then this life's gonna end.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on
This
display.
is war with the enemy. Think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me. I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic, but there's logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas.
All right, welcome back from our commercial break with our second half of the episode on the haunted locations that we visited in 2025.
It feels so weird not saying
It
with our
feels-
spirit of the week.
I know, it feels so weird. There were some locations in here that, like, I knew that we did, but like I didn't forget about. But I was like, man, that was this year.
We did so many locations
So many.
this year, and I didn't realize until I put them all together. And I
So-
was like,
Let's go through them
okay,
in no particular order.
yes.
Culver Hotel,
California.
Bachelor's Grove,
Illinois.
more than once. Bloods Point Cemetery,
Illinois.
Oz Park,
Illinois.
Bell Witch Cave,
Tennessee.
Union Station Hotel,
Tennessee.
Nashville. Yep. The Campbell Flanagan Murrell House Museum.
West Virginia.
A couple of these are from West Virginia. The Poe House.
West Virginia.
The Summers County Public Library.
West Virginia.
The Wilson Warehouse.
West Virginia.
The Hinton, West Virginia Airbnb.
West Virginia.
Billy Creek.
Indiana.
The Wild Sugar Homestead.
Vermont.
And the White Cemetery.
Illinois.
Whew. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So of those, Taylor, let's just go right into it. Your favorite location that we went to in 2025?
Easy. Culver Hotel.
Wow.
Easy.
I was not expecting that.
Easy.
Why?
I think at a lot of these locations, like the Bell Witch Cave, for example, is like one of the most famous haunted locations in the country.
Yes.
A couple of these are some of like our very well-known locations. Culver Hotel is really niche, not as popular of a location, and as a result, I feel like we were able to build deeper connections with the spirits at that hotel compared to any other location. Melanie in particular, like, really, really wanted to connect with us. And at a lot of these other locations, I kind of felt like the spirits were exploited a bit, and they had been just worked with and didn't want to be worked with anymore. And I felt like the spirits at that particular location really enjoyed having us there. So that was my favorite. What about you?
Wow. I am going to say our other hotel, which is the Union Station Hotel.
Oh, I loved that one too. That was my second choice.
For a lot of options, a lot of reasons.
Oh, that little kid there.
I'm getting to it. Don't worry. First of all, the hotel itself, beautiful, gorgeous hotel. So cool. The experiences we had there were so funny and so unique. Like, I think people forget that this is like a silly thing that happens. Like, we were in that, like on the bottom floor, right? It was like floor 1 or floor 2. And we were going to one side and they were knocking on the other, and they were running over there and they were knocking on the other side.
Yeah.
We were chatting with him, and
It
he
was
was
really
like,
engaging.
he's like, oh, we'll talk later.
Yeah.
It was so funny. And it was an awesome experience there.
Union
So
Station.
cool. So that was, I think, one of my favorite places.
I also like, this is so cheesy, but like, I also just love doing the hotels because like that's something we get to do like just together, you know, like staying there together and getting to just like, it's kind of like a vacation and a location investigation at the same time. And we're just like in our pajamas, chilling out, eating snacks, dancing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it's a work trip.
You know, it's like,
It's a work trip.
It's just like a fun like date weekend for us too. So
Truly.
that's always, I love hotels. I don't know.
Okay, the location that surprised you the most.
For me, it was the Bell Witch Cave.
Yeah.
The Bell Witch Cave, you know, is often portrayed as a very negative location.
Sure is.
And I went to the Bell Witch Cave expecting the worst. To be honest with you, after what I had heard about it. And that was just not the experience that we had at all. It was actually like a very, very peaceful place. We had some spooky moments, but the good far outweighed the spooky experiences that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there are so many claims and terrible things that are claimed about some of these spirits at this particular location. And this was really a location where it was like, we showed up with like an open mind and came from like a mindset of respect, and we were given respect back from those spirits. And talking to Kate was definitely something that I will never forget. She was just so sad. And that was something that I don't often see talked about with the Bell Witch Cave, because it's always, I went to the most haunted cave in America and I saw a demon, you know, like that. It's just one of those locations.
Yeah, it is.
And that was just not the experience we had, and we had an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And so that one was a surprise for me.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. What about you?
I think the one that surprised me the most was the Wild Sugar Homestead.
Oh yeah.
And the reason is because I it reminds me that I really need to go into locations with an open mind and understand that there are things that I'm definitely not going to understand. But that was our first time having like a real prolonged, serious interaction with something that was like a little spooky.
Yeah.
And we had never done that before.
I mean, we had Billy at Bachelor's Grove.
We had Billy at Bachelor's Grove.
He was a different kind of spooky.
He was a different kind of spooky.
Yeah.
This was like, wasn't trying.
We felt like we were being hunted.
This wasn't trying to be spooky. This was like an old.
This just
spirit.
was spooky.
It was spooky. like Billy was like trying to scare us for the sake of scaring us. This was like real deal archaic stuff. And it was just interesting because I want to remember that the location itself, like the house itself, was definitely haunted. But a lot of times it's the land and the area around it, which I think feeds into my next answer, which I'll get to in a minute, that can be just as, I don't want to say like haunted, but just as interesting or just as engaging as like the actual house.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. The stuff that comes out of the woods is often a bigger deal than the spirits in the house.
Yes. Next question is the evidence that we are still thinking about. And I would like to answer this question first.
You go ahead.
It's the one that got away. It's the drums.
Oh,
okay, listen. So
I'm so pissed about that.
I think this also something I want to talk about because this was at the Bell Witch Cave. Okay. But it was not at the Bell Witch Cave, right? Like you hear Bell Witch Cave and you're like, oh, it's the cave. I feel like the area that was more interesting was the area around.
Yeah, the property. Because there's like Native American burial grounds and a house. There's a lot there.
There was a time where we were down by the river.
Oh, I'm so pissed about this.
And we were hearing like these noises that sounded like coyotes or wolves, but it was a little bit off. And then all of a sudden they all started howling, and that wasn't even the drumming part. Then we were in a different part and we heard these drums, but we didn't catch it.
Literally, it was like drum slaying. It was like
crazy, but it was like
so
legit
loud.
And like I don't hear or see much, right? In regards
everybody there heard it.
Everyone there heard it,
so
and everyone
loud.
was like, "Do you hear this right now?" And it was like a legit like do 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 do. And I'm gonna be pissed forevermore that we did not get that.
Now, if you're ever watching our videos, you'll hear me and Morgan both say like, Mitchell, Eric, are you filming? Like, is the camera out? Are you filming? Are you recording right now? Those drums are why. We are so paranoid about missing something like that again. Because it was like in the 3 minutes of the entire time that nobody's camera was rolling.
Because we had just gotten to the new place on the
and we just weren't set up yet.
And we weren't set up yet. And I was like, I'm just going to put my camera away for just a hot second.
We will never make that mistake again.
Never make that mistake again.
Yeah. Now when you hear it's like, are you filming? Are you filming? That's why we're like frantic, is because we talk every location we go to. We talk about that with Morgan and Eric. Like, we are not having another drum incident today.
Paranoid for a purpose.
But us being paranoid for a purpose is why we caught that door opening at Billy Creek Village.
Absolutely.
Because I had my camera rolling in one direction and we had Morgan film in the other direction so we wouldn't miss something like that. And so we learned. You live and you learn. For me, the evidence I still think about is from the Campbell Flanagan Mural House Museum with our not friend John.
Oh no, John. Oh, this guy.
I wish I added in there what is our least favorite spirit we worked with in 2025. It was John. He was such a jerk.
He was the worst.
He was just a guy.
And
he was just a guy. He wasn't like
the little girl.
Like Sydney? Georgia.
Yes.
Georgia.
It was like some place. I was like, it's a place.
Yeah. But John was a work of art, but some of the evidence we got in that place was absolutely incredible.
Crazy.
One, we caught John's face in the mirror, which was crazy. Two, Morgan like got super sick. Not good. And 3, another thing we missed was we missed recording because we had a camera going, but it was facing the other direction. He threw a backpack at Morgan's head because he was pissed off at me.
The backpack falling.
Unfortunately, this year I learned that I'm often the target of pissing a spirit off for some reason. Usually it's some like misogynistic man from the 1800s who like doesn't like that I talk a lot, but then they won't target me. They'll target like somebody else.
Poor Morgan has always been like the target. Like you'll piss him off,
so bad,
and then the spirit's like, I'm gonna mess with Morgan
or Eric. Eric gets it too. It's always my fault, and I feel so bad about that. But yeah, he threw a backpack at Morgan's head, a heavy one. So that was really just lovely, but really good evidence.
You live and you learn.
Really good evidence.
Okay, next one is of this year. What is your personal favorite moment?
I think my personal favorite moment was helping Melanie leave that hotel.
That's what I was gonna say.
We can have the same one.
Okay, we'll have the same one.
We can have the same one. But we met Melanie at the Culver Hotel in California, and she was very stuck at that hotel and really didn't want to be there. And we had haunted dolls with us, and she was very, very intrigued by that concept. And she really wanted to leave, and we were able to help her leave that hotel, and that was a very good reminder of why we do this, right? Like we really got to help in a really huge way, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that was something that I'm never going to forget. I specifically remember we were like, are we going to do this? Like, is this really something we're going to do? Like, is this safe? Should we be doing this? And then once we made the decision, it was like, we were so gung ho about it. Mm-hmm. And I remember we were so nervous leaving because we almost ran out of time to get a vessel, right? Because like all the stores were closing.
We were running. So we didn't have a car. We were just running through.
So we were like Googling. We're like, where do we go to get like a vessel? So we found this little.
It was like a bookstore
with this adorable little vessel. And then we were so nervous. We were leaving. We were like, God, we hope she's here. We hope she's here. On the plane, we're like, we don't know. We don't know. We're so nervous. And then we finally got back and we're like, please, 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 please. And then I think we got her like on the spirit box right after that. And she was like, I made it. And we were like, yes. Like it was like such a rescue mission.
Yeah.
But I mean, she would still be there.
Yeah. So
she would still be there writing at that desk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now she gets to experience, you know, Christmas with us and the nonsense that is our house. But like, I just think the fact that we were able to help her.
I hope it's everything she dreamed of.
It was everything she dreams of. She doesn't regret it. But that was a really special moment.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. Next one, lessons we learned from our location investigations.
I think for me, the biggest lesson that I learned was how much the living people's energy matters in an investigation.
That's a really good point.
A lot of people think it's all about the location you go to, and you know, the most famous, the most haunted, the most active, some of our best experiences have been at like just random places.
Yeah, Oz Park.
Yeah.
Oz Park's a great one.
Yeah, Oz Park was a great one. But I think, you know, we have seen this a couple of times now. Every single member of your group's energy matters.
Big time.
If you have somebody who is terrified, who is very reactive, who is in a negative mindset because they're nervous, that will draw negativity to you. If you go in and you're confident and you're calm and you're cool and you're collected and you've got your life together and you're positive, generally you are going to draw in a more positive energy, spirit, or experience, even if there's negativity at the location. And I think that that's what happened with Bell Witch Cave.
Yeah.
I do think there's negativity at Bell Witch Cave, but the group that we were with, being with Morgan and Eric, we brought in just kind of a neutral mindset, and none of it came for us.
Yeah.
So I do think that's something that I learned a lot about in 2025, and I want to continue to study into 2026, is how and why the living influence the experiences so much. But I do think it's like your energy. It's like they read in the same way we read their energy, they read ours.
Totally.
And you attract what you put out.
Yeah, I think it's very important to check yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're in a situation where you're really scared to do it and you're not sure and you're really anticipating bad things, it's probably not a good idea for you.
What's really interesting too is I've gotten really good at being able to call it. Like when we're in a group and, sometimes out of your control, sometimes it's at an event and there's a stranger there, or something like that. But every time we have had a bad experience, before it happened, I saw a person in the group and I said, we're going to have a bad time because that person is super, super, super nervous. And we did.
Yeah.
Every single time. It's like clockwork now. We're able to predict it because that nervous, high anxiety energy. And again, I don't want to, this is not their fault.
Exactly.
Right?
It doesn't make them a bad investigator or anything.
It doesn't. But you're your body also just responds to fear. Everybody's body responds to fear differently. My body responds to fear by laughing a lot of times, which pisses spirits off in a different way. But I think that, it's not their fault, but it becomes their problem, if that makes sense.
Totally.
And they become a target of not fun stuff. So I do think that, your energy matters. And I do think it's something that can be learned. I've seen people who were once very, very reactive, like calm down a lot as they gained experience and confidence. And so just being aware of my own energy. If I'm sick, I'm not going to go. If I'm pissed off, I'm not going to go. Anything like that.
And I think a lot of times too, even if you're dealing with like things emotionally, if you have stuff going on in your life or you're going through a rough patch, it's probably not a great time.
Yeah.
And that's, once again, not a bad thing, but it's something that you have to be aware of when you go.
Yep.
Because they will, what you put out is what you will get back.
Yep.
Yep.
So that was my learning.
I think my lesson that I've learned is something does not need to be notoriously haunted to be haunted.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the places, and you kind of mentioned this already, so I'm going to kind of just, reiterate this. The really haunted places, sure, like probably have stuff going on. But I think the more fun experiences we had were places that were like, oh, it's like a little haunted. It's like kind of like nothing crazy. Like that was the most fun we had, I feel like. Mm-hmm. When it was something where we were relaxed, ironically, we get kids a lot. So that was something that was really fun. But I think, going into every place with an open mind is just so crucially important.
Agreed.
When you go to places, especially, you never know. You never know what's going to happen when you go. And it could be different each time you go because of the reasons you just talked about, right? Or it could be a different time of year. It could be a different, I don't even know, could be a different phase of the moon. Like there's a million things that can influence what's going on.
Yeah.
So you have to treat every experience uniquely.
Yeah.
That was my lesson. Okay, this is the last question.
Okay.
How did your approach to haunted locations change or evolve during 2025?
I think for me, my approach changed in the sense that I don't listen to anybody about these locations anymore. None of the TV shows, none of like other content creators. Like I don't listen at all. And the reason why is because, when you do that, that's what you go looking for. And instead, trusting our own experiences when we're there. So, everybody may have a really good experience at this one particular, grave at a cemetery. Well, I'm going to go to the spot that I feel most drawn to personally, instead of what everybody says is the most notorious spot at the location. That is part of why we don't research at all before we go. I don't want to be jaded. I take that very, very seriously. But I trust my own investigation rather than other people's experiences. It's not to say they didn't have those experiences. I know that they did, but that also doesn't mean that there isn't other things to be found at a location that maybe nobody has seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so in doing that, we have found some really, really interesting things.
Absolutely.
Is not letting other people's investigations skew ours.
Totally. Absolutely. I think that's a great point.
So
I think what I'm going to say is trust yourself, and your body is probably the best tool you have. And I think if there's a vibe that something's going on, you have to take it with, a grain of salt, make sure it's not you influencing what's being said or what you're feeling. But I think a lot of times when stuff was going on that is most memorable for me for the year, it's stuff that, yeah, we had some evidence to support it, but it's something that, I feel like I figured it out a little bit on my own, like trusting myself and my body and what I'm feeling more than anything. Like, I feel like the Bell Witch Cave is a really good example. And you already talked about this a little bit. Like, way in the back of the cave, we had that spirit there that really didn't want to communicate much. And I think when we went, the first thing is I was like, I don't know. I don't like this feels kind of like sad and, not angry, but just like disappointed and frustrated and stuff. And that's exactly what we got.
Yeah.
So I think trusting yourself and what you're feeling is a skill that's very, very, very hard to understand. But I think that's going to take a very long time for me to get better at. But I'm excited to continue to get better at it.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun adventures this year.
We did some crazy stuff this year. We didn't have a podcast this year.
We didn't have anything. What do you mean? Not even just that. We didn't have anything.
I had never done it in a like real deal paranormal investigation really prior to this year.
Yeah.
We done like tiny stuff.
I always forget that.
But
because I grew up with it. Like I always forget
never done
that
it.
Like you hadn't done it.
Never done it. I didn't know how. I've never worked a camera before. I'd never done anything before. Clearly, you can see some of the videos are not very good in regards to camera work.
That we were talking about beforehand.
Oh my God.
Our production is our goal to improve in 2026, but now we actually have the gear to do it. We didn't have the gear to do it before.
Exactly. I need to watch
Mitchell.
some YouTube videos. I need to figure stuff out. I don't know. But all in all, I think thank you so much for joining us this year.
Yes.
This has been an unbelievable experience. I know we say it over and over, but we could not have done this without you guys.
Without you. We really
so we're eternally grateful that we're able to do this. Our spirits love doing it. Every single time we talk with them, they are really grateful of everything. So this really is a shout out to you.
I also just want to say one thing that I am really, really thankful for, and something that I was very surprised by this year that really didn't get touched on in any of the other questions, is like the incredible people we have had the opportunity to meet.
Yes, absolutely.
And make friends with on this journey. Like I was you weren't even involved at first. Like I was just like a random girl in my bedroom making videos alone, and that was all I thought this would be, was just like me by myself making stuff. And we've met so many incredible people, so many incredible friends. And just the people we have gotten the opportunity to work with and spend time with, have changed our lives in so many ways.
Yes.
And it's very nice to be in a community where we feel seen for us and who we are, which is really cool. So thank you. If you were one of those people, thank you so much for
shout out you.
Bringing us along with you too.
Absolutely. I think that about wraps it up.
That wraps it up. 2025 wrapped.
Done.
Crazy.
I can't even believe it.
And this is episode 30. Isn't that weird?
There are no coincidences.
Isn't that weird? All right. Well, have a wonderful, wonderful new year.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see you next year, 2026.
Such a cheesy joke. Oh, I'll see you next year.
See you next year, y'all. See you next year. But we're doing a full year next year of podcasting.
Crazy.
So that's exciting.
Crazy.
Yeah. See you later. See you next year.
Bye-bye.